Alrighty, boys and girls, good morning, welcome in. Kind of wasn't half totally planning to stream today, but we got some cleanup to do. We got Operation Fix Everything, Operation Play Catch Up, Operation Get Stuff Working. That's the plans for today. Welcome in, boys and girls, welcomes. Right, let's, where's me game gone? Probably won't do too much PTR stuff today unless there's like a really good reason to. I kind of think I roughly know what's going on now, or at least know enough to leave a few surprises. That's the plan. None of that's important when it's the first of the month. New trading post. Oh, true. Yes, trading post. Let's put this full screen since I don't plan on doing 25 million accounts today. Turn the quality up a bit for this and all. Oh my god, I've got stuff in the mailbox and all sorts of things going on. Why have I got items from the auction house on this dude? That's always risky business. The hell's in the mailbox? I've not logged on for however many weeks. Yeah, there's a few things I need to do. I need to finish leveling my belt, my main belt, because I think I've got a couple of upgrades on that. What does it go to? 701, I think? Maybe? I don't know. Can't remember. Might mean we have to do a few delves to tick that off. Operation Clean Bags is probably going to be on. I don't really... It's something I always put off, but... Going into a new zone, going into a new season, it is smart to clean the bags. I also need to think I should probably check things like my void storage, because there's probably stuff in it on some of my characters, but flipping God knows how I find all of this out without looking through each and every one, which I'm not too keen to do. Maybe if it's been in the void storage and I don't know it exists, it's probably not that important to me. Right, let's have a little looky. Turn the tunes down just a touch. Right, retail. Flippin' hell, I've not logged onto this for a while. Firstly, what's in this dude's mailbox? That's what I was really interested in. Oh, a bunch of Dawnweave that I tried to sell, apparently. Oh my god, this is what I mean about Operation Clean Bags. Alright. Operation Clean Bags is going to be on. This is my mage. I didn't really need to be on my mage particularly. Well, I guess if we are on the mage, let's do mage things. Let's catch up on some patron orders. Let's figure out. Let's take it easy whilst we find our bearings for the morning. A couple of tailoring notes. A couple of inscription notes. Might as well play catch up on those because I'm flipping miles behind. Can't trust Blizzard after the last... Well, this is it. My suggestion to players is if they want to be really safe, anything that is super duper mega valuable to you, put it in your bags. If they're going to be doing conversion stuff on the bank space, you don't want anything in your banks that you're kind of not willing to lose. Your on-hand bags are the only thing that should, in like big inverted commas, should be safe. But who knows? Yeah, the Blizzard haven't got much trust with that sort of stuff since what happened with guild banks. So I get it. Public orders? Never lucky. Those ones. No. Auction house first. Craft sim, craft queue. I can hold stuff for you, even gold, if you don't have enough space. I unfortunately don't have as much gold as some people are kind of maybe led to believe I have. I am just as good at spending it as I am at making it, which means I tend not to sit on a big pile of it for very long. And I've always had this thing about not really liking having huge amounts of liquid gold. For two reasons. One, it doesn't do anything in liquid form anyway. Sitting on a big pile of gold, like, other than bragging rights, and I know being a little bit more public in my gameplay, I could take advantage of some of that if I really wanted to, but I can't be, I just don't. Bragging rights could certainly be one reason to sit on a big pile of gold. But it's not one that I really care for. And like I said, it's not doing anything, just sat there. You know, if you've made it, spend it on something. You can always make more of it. Don't care about any of my bank stuff enough to cram it into my bags. Well, yeah, for me, it's mostly just soulbound stuff. Traditionally, the only stuff I keep in my actual bank is soulbound. If it can be sold, it goes on the auction house. Is kind of my theory, because you can always just buy it back again if you need it. Is kind of the way I look at it. Buy it back again if you need it. And most of the time, you realize that you don't need it, and you don't ever buy it back. And actually selling it when you get it the first time is probably when that item is also worth the most. So, because historically, nearly everything goes down in value. There's only a very small handful of stuff that sort of maintains value or even goes up in value. So you're more often than not safe just selling it all. Sell it all, buy it back if you need it. We do these ones, flicker, double points, sure. Some reasonable orders on this dude today. Maybe one of the characters needs to make sure a helm of Sheldonian might is safe, though. Yeah, soulbound stuff stays in the bank. That goes for soulbound materials. Soulbound materials live in the reagent bank, which is all being merged, I believe. Oh, that's a good question. Oh, how are reagents? I hadn't thought about that. How are reagents going to work with this new bank system? Whoa, who's doing a funny business on this? Luckily, I only need one of them. I should they did a blue post or a blog or something about this bank stuff, didn't they? I should probably double check it, make sure I know where I stand. Probably safe. One month of farming raids for Mogs, back to business. Matagizing 20 million worth of mats. Woof. Yeah, I should do a lot more of that. I really should. But I have also probably, for the most part, missed the boat on buying the mats nice and cheap. But there's possibilities afoot still, I'm sure. I can't think of anything valuable in my banks that needs saving. I probably shouldn't look in my banks or care what happens to the stuff within. Yeah, that's kind of it, really, isn't it? It's like, you know, if it wasn't that important that you can't remember it. But it is nice occasionally. I've done this a few times where you just kind of, you know, you log on to an old character and you're like, oh, this character's got a bunch of cool stuff in the bank that I'd just forgotten about. Doesn't mean it's not important because you've forgotten it. Or should I say valuable stuff? Hey, I found a rich purple silk shirt recipe in one of my dude's bags, which I then went on to sell for 1 million gold a few days later. So sometimes, maybe, I suppose, maybe possibly. it is kind of worth paying some attention to this stuff. Might actually not be a terrible idea to have a look today, see how herbalism and mining, these new material, how it deals with these new materials. How is the skill? What skill or what difficulty is going to be gathering these new materials? Because they're not going to have their own trees, so does that mean they piggyback off? Are they going to benefit? Are they going to piggyback off like bismuth and microbloom, or are they just going to have a difficulty rating that's easy to achieve for everybody? So everybody's getting Q3. That's actually a really good point. I should have paid a lot more attention to that. That is definitely something we're going to do today. Unless somebody just has the answer that I can trust. Not that I plan to particularly do much of the gathering myself, but it's kind of nice to understand, you know, how it all works so that you can understand what the farmers are doing so you can make better business decisions. It's a theory. Alternatively, I might just get completely stuck doing flipping patron orders, keeping my characters up to speed. 9 points. Well, I guess that nearly fills that, doesn't it? Being a scribey ribe, surely I have a book to read. Eight hours left at the secret void bike part 2? Question mark. I have no idea what that means. Absolutely no idea what that means. If it's anything that's happened in the last month, I don't know it exists. Because when I take a break from WoW, I do my best to actually take a break from WoW. What was I in here for? I was in here for knowledge point books, weren't I? Tailoring. Yeah, just a few inscription books, look. Any tailoring ones? Tailoring ones. One of those. One of those. Put them back. Where did they go? You and you. Okay, that's us fully knowledged. Still need so many knowledge points on these dudes for these professions. What's that weak aura? Pretty neat for knowledge. I don't think it's a weak aura. It's an add-on. It's an add-on called. It's an add-on called. What is it called? New openables. New openables. Just gives you a little icon that you can move, put it anywhere on your screen, and anything that's an openable thing or a clickable thing. So like you loot a cosmetic item, it'll show there. You loot a pinnacle chest, it will show there. You know, it's just for so you don't have to filter through your inventory all the time. Anything that can be opened, it will put it there. I think it also goes as far as to suggest that you, well, it can be configured, I think, to like equip or use new items and stuff as well. I can't remember. Right, okay, so where were we? Loads of points in there, loads of points in there. Enough points in there to do contracts, Avantus runes, missives if we want next week. Couldn't care less really about filling all of these, although we will get to it. It's just so many points, isn't it? What we got going on over here? Are we filling out the final tree now for tailoring? We're probably filling out the final tree, aren't we? So let's have a look at this then. What's going on here? What's this? August 1st, 9 a.m. PT to 6 p.m. Central Eastern Time. Right. We also got this on the Blizzard Discord. Okay. 1st of August secret-y doodah. I'm in the secret finding guild. Let me see. Secret finding Discord, sorry. Let me looky. What's going on here? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where have I put it? Too many Discords these days. Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of this means. I'll wait till somebody tells me the answer. Grumbling from people in my guild that they need to do some quests to get the cloak needed to raid. It's not a grind, it's a few quests. Without it, you cannot even do the raid. Yeah. There are still very, very many people that quote-unquote raid log and will complain anytime they have to do anything that's not killing a raid boss, which, sure, is their prerogative, but it's also one of those grumblings that I just ignore. Should be the second part of the anniversary secret, corresponding to the 3 missing void orbs, or the biggest clickbait in history. Well, that's also possible. That's also very possible. Right, that's this dude done anyway. I'll come back and clean his bags at some other point. We're not doing that now. I only wanted to actually check what was in his mailbox. We could go and have a little bit of a looky actually at the trading post, couldn't we? New trading post up today. I'm also not sure how long I can stream for today. I mentioned yesterday that our niece is staying with us for a couple of days. So she and the wife have gone to the park. There's a strong chance they'll come back from the park and be like, well, hopefully she'll take a nap in the car on the way back, so she'll sleep for a couple of hours. Otherwise, I might be summoned to be entertaining. But we'll see. Right, we don't need to be in the Undermine right now, do we? We can come back and do Undermine stuff. We need to clean our quest log. We need to get rid of any outstanding quests. Quite clearly, we'll be back in the Undermine before too long anyway. That's the lucrative nature of killing rares out here. I don't think is going away, is it? Let's be real. How much is the Mechanicas worth right now? 37. Okay, so the price of Mechanicas has dropped by about 5k since I've not been playing WoW. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. So yeah, for 37,000 gold apiece per Mechanica, I think it's still pretty worth farming 8 of them a day in a couple of hours. I don't think that opportunity's going anywhere, is it? Have a look at the trading post. Where have you gone? Down here. I'm the GM and raid leader this tier, so get it or get benched. That also works. What is on offer then? Grandmaster's Royal Board. Oh, we're getting all the chessboards. Well, that one's gold, which is kind of cool. Kind of fits the theme. Oh, even the pony underneath has got gold eye on the go. Look, Grandmaster's attire. Ha! Okay, this is literally Karazhan set. Who look like a chess? Oh my god, that's actually quite cool. Golden chess piece. That's annoyingly quite cool, isn't it? How was the vacation? It was chill. It was chill. I absolutely 100% needed a few weeks without playing WoW. There's no doubt. Teach her how to fish. Yes. Yes. You see this button? Click it. And then you see that button, click it. It's amazing. I gave her my iPad the other day, and within seconds she knew what to do. She's 3, by the way, and she was just blitzing around an iPad. No issues. Oh, it's all chess themed. Golden horsey stick. A midnight sweatsuit. What the Christ is this? Ideal outfit for a hard workout. It looks like I've stolen some... It looks very Silence of the Lambs. That's literally the first thing I thought of. It's like, this is very Silence of the Lambs. And that's like full on insane asylum. Padded, you know, the van with flipping van with square wheels rocks up. Okay. Chest shield. Midnight eye patch, snowy eye patch. Some mummy skirt. Oh, actual proper mummy skirt. Okay. Oh my god, they even give you like the anonymity masks. Okay. I don't think any of this appeals to me. I think this is going to be a very cheap month. Pussycat with some armor is returning. A werewolf is returning. Chill little Murloc dude is returning. Some cape stuff. Okay. It's not a lot of anything I really want. Oh, 750 traders tender. I wonder if I didn't complete that last month then. There's a very, very, very strong chance I didn't complete last month's. Very strong chance, actually. Alright, well, We'll slam the brakes on this because none of this really appeals to me. I know there's about 12 different variations of this chessboard mount in different colors. That said, the gold variation obviously appeals to me. But it's not the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've still got this pearlescent butterfly on lockdown. Although I can't imagine I'm going to use it. But it could be a good month to unfreeze this. Get that bought. I don't know. It's a pretty slow month, isn't it, in the trading post, I feel. That feels like a pretty slow month. Doesn't feel like there's anything super duper mega cool there. Oh my god, I've got something in my vault. How long's that been there? How long's this been here? What even is it? Oh, it's one of these. Unless I need it for Mog, no. 2 tokens of merit. Bought the black eye patch and the Murloc. Didn't even buy the special mount. Yeah, it's those chessboards are cool, but you only really need like one color variation of them. Do I want anything? I don't need anything at this point. I'm sure I could use crests to upgrade something. I'm kind of annoyed that I'm 674. I want to be 675. 558 cloak, which is going to get replaced, which is why I've not done anything with that. Everything else will carry me for a week or two until we've done some delves in the next season. This puppy dog needs upgrading. 691. I can get 10 item levels on this, can't I? I'm pretty sure I can get 10 item levels on that. That might mean we have to do a few delves. Catch that up. And I've got a random 658 ring, actually. Could do with swapping out for probably a crafted ring. I'm a jewel crafter, after all. What was I waiting for to be able to do that? Let's just turn these into crests, because I might need gilded to make that last piece of crafted gear or something. I don't know. It's amazing just how quick you get out of the rhythm with this game. What do we got? Oh, I've only got 36 gilded, which isn't going to be enough to make a piece of crafted gear anyway. And what do I need? Like 60 for a piece of no, I need 90 for a piece of crafted gear if I want to make it properly. Oh, maybe we just don't bother then. Maybe just don't bother. Unless we can upscale stuff. No. Yeah, that seems to be all I can buy. It's a few more gilded, but probably not enough. Get 30 from a single delve run. Maybe I can. I'm not willing to particularly do anything to achieve any of this. I was just trying to see if I've got currency and stuff lying about that we can utilize before it disappears. That said, I do need to upgrade this. How do we upgrade this? There's a quest in here, isn't there? We should definitely get this belt to 701. Is it 701? I think it's 701, right? Pretty sure it is. Grab this in case we end up doing a few anyway. Oh, I've already got this quest. Gathering an update. What do we do? Requires faulty Titan directives. Complete an overcharged delve. Alright, where's an overcharged delve then? Where's an overcharged delve? Freevol's rest.
Sweet
Overcharged and
together.
bountiful. Let's give it a go. Hey, Mr. Norton with a gifty. Thank you very much. What a weird Twitch name. Watlin EFC 1878. Either way, thanks for lurking. Enjoy your ad-free viewing, courtesy Mr. Norton. Appreciate it. Do I have keys? I've got keys. Another month, another throne. Oh, I see. I see. Overcharged. Just max it out. Do I have a... Oh, actually, before we do this, do I have a map? Do I have a map, or do I have a wave shreddery doodah thing, or do I have a something or other to make it all pop? Can we get as much done in one go as we can? I don't know why, but just because. Let me grab a wave shreddery doodah thing. What are you? Hello? Oh, that's a way to view Bran again. Okay, sure. Where do I get them from? Delve treasures? You? Need that at some point anyway. No, it must be Froggy Froggerson over here. One of you, look. And what are they doing with undercoins? Are undercoins resetting again this time? I'm going to assume they are, right? Something's not resetting. Valor stones are not resetting, are they? Or what they called? Yeah, Valor stones. Valor stones are staying apparently, but undercoins are resetting. Spend them. Right. Well, we'll have one of them for now to go do a thing. Any toys, mounts, interesting stuff that I actually care about? Got the companion for 10,000. Catch-up gear. Catch-up gear. Lots of catch-up gear. I might not have anything to spend them on, to be honest. Keys will get reset. Don't know what these disguises are. I don't actually think I've really got anything to spend them on. All of this sort of scuff I don't care for. Unironically, might turn them in for resonance crystals. That's only an extra 1,000 resonance crystals. Bought gear for the alts next patch. What is it? 623 gear. Yeah, I don't know. I'll worry about that next. Undercoins are resetting to the vendor. Yeah, I would assume they will be. Now, much like Season 2, they won't reset next week. You've still got time, but they'll restart before the new season officially begins, which is a week on Tuesday, I think. Right, let's just hammer this. Let's go. Is all of this min-maxed? All of that's up to date. Do a thing. Do a thing. Right, go. Oh, it's a stupid candles one. Stupid candles. Alright, well, we'll have a few of these then. We're going to need them. Why can't I go through a door? Right, see if I can remember how to press buttons. Failing that, scroll a mouse wheel and win. Light work. Get ruined. Pylon down. What else are we doing in here? Tag you. Tag you. Fuck it, let's go. Okay, we might need to fix this. Maybe I should remember how to play the game first before we pull the entire room. The hell? Ah, apparently you can get crackling shards in here. Today I learn. All you got. Do you have the Titan belt? Yeah, I have it. I just need to get it upgraded. I'm pretty sure I can get it to 670, no, 701 in a day now, surely, right? Got my crackling mount last week. What's it? It's 10 of them you need, isn't it, to summon him? I think. Found the last two from bees and wolves. Yeah, I'm just waiting till I accidentally get them. I'm not going out my way. It'll be one of those end of expansion. We'll, you know, just tick it off the list before we move on to midnight kind of jobs. Which I'm quite sure there'll be many of. Take my candles with me because I can't remember how many you get in here. Okay, I think we've cleared this room now. Wait, what? Oh, we've got to pull it out the... Why can't we do anything with it? Okay, Brand's got it. He's fine. Okay, that's 2 stolen keepsakes. We need a shitload more. Quests come one after another. Just do a delve, complete each one usually. Oh, okay, that's fine. We'll get it after doing a few realms then. A few delves, it'll be easy. Probably not going to bother getting half of my alts there. Fully min-maxed belt, but might be worth making sure my alts have got their belt at the very least. It's for my alts especially, actually, it's something that will probably carry them through to the end of the expansion, that belt now. Oh shit, we're getting toasted. Brand do brand things. Hoping I haven't missed any more boxes. Doesn't look like it. Oh, ouch. Collector's Bounty did good for the transmog business. I'm going to miss it. Well, that's not to say that it won't have like a long tail to it though. Because, you know, if people have spent a month farming mogs, well, obviously a lot of people are probably focused on the mounts. It would have definitely given people the bug to probably continue and to keep working on their collections. It won't be. I mean, yeah, you'll find that the interest will definitely slow down, but it's kind of interesting to hear that the amount of mog sales had a bit of an uptick as well. I can't remember what half of these pylons and stuff do. I'm just killing everything I see. Kill everything. Worry about the mechanics later. No more hello there message. Hello there. I'll do it manually. Pretty sure it converted a fair few people into ATT. Oh, without doubt, like, without question. There'll be some people that started collecting stuff and then would have looked at add-ons, and it'd be interesting to find out how many, if there was a spike in downloads of ATT last month. I bet there was. And unfortunately, as far as all the things is concerned, once an addict, always an addict. Because it's a game you can't win with exponential amount of effort that needs to be put into it. All the things is basically mobile phone gacha, with the first hit being free. The new herbs are only for trade. Yes. Yeah, the new herbs are only for trade. Weirdly, I don't know whether this is a PTR thing, but the new Null Stone variant is apparently prospectable. Or at least it shows in the list. I haven't tried it because I haven't got any of them to try. But that could be a bit of an interesting twist if that stays the same. It'd be interesting to see what the prospecting rates on that would be. Probably the same as Null Stones are today. I can't remember the name of the new stone. I'm going to just call it the new Null Stone because I can't remember its name. It's in the document. Oh, I should probably pin the document again, shouldn't I? Please hold. In those messages. What's it called? The Koreshi resonating stone. Yeah, apparently these there's the option to prospect these. I'm going to assume it prospects the same as nullstones. A wild jack's lurking somewhere. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yes, the TV's off. That's a clever way to introduce yourself, Jack. I know you're lurking. Spend 311 gold now. Unlock all the bank space, all the bags, reagent bank, void storage. That'll all be corresponded to new tabs with the new system being unlocked. Yeah, I don't know what the cost of unlocking the tabs after next week will be. 2,000 gold for sure. $9 to $10K next week. I mean, that's not that bad, is it really? 9 to 10K, we can live with 9 to 10K. But yeah, doing it for 300 gold now is probably... If you have lots of characters, maybe. But... if those characters have gone this long without unlocking the space, the question is, once again, do they really need the extra space? Oh, is there a good spot to summon the big dude in here? Maybe we do it. I don't know. Just do it in here, I suppose. Let's clear all of this out, and then we'll summon the big dude in here. Too lazy to download the PTR. Any chance you could test to see if the goblin boxes transfer over? Still contain Valor Stones in the patch? The goblin boxes? What goblin boxes are we talking about? If the goblin boxes transfer over. Let's summon you. Or the Hellshard ones from the rares. We can probably have a look at that. Yeah, Menace. I don't actually have many of those. I'm not even sure I completed that event properly. It's finished now, right? Must have finished by now. In fact, that's a good point. I might not even be able to do anything about that to test it. I might not have any of them. Has it finished? It's the first of the month, so I'm wondering if stuff is over. Use Delver's Bounty. Where'd he go? Consider it used. Right, let's grab these. Grab you.
Is that your wallet? Or are you just glad to see me?
Mr. Dipper, there he is. There he is. There he is. Thank you, my man. Welcome in. You're right, the TV is still off. How many do we need? 3 more keepsakes. Have you been on for nearly an hour? Have I been on nearly an hour? I have, yeah. I started a bit late to my normal start time, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think I really have much of a normal start time. Probably won't continue. I've been speaking about this a lot. We'll see how next week goes, but there's a very, very, very strong chance that the 5 days streaming at the same time every day business probably won't continue. There's a few reasons why, but the schedule will probably be changing. Probably to include a couple of evening streams instead of daytime streams. Now, I know for those who have a regular schedule, that's going to throw a spanner in the works, so I apologize, but fundamentally, I need to be more productive than I am. And I love streaming, but it's taken up all of my efforts. And I would rather get into a more productive routine now, while it's still quite quiet, than try and change a routine while we're getting player housing and flipping Legion remix and alphas and betas and all of this sort of business. So change the routine now while it's easy to do, and we'll be ready to hit midnight. Priority splitter bugged. I've not played Satisfactory for a while, but I do remember it being bugged way back in the day. Such as you could set it to split things and then it wouldn't. Oh no, hang on, priority. In fact, I'm not sure. I'm thinking of the smart splitter. Smart splitter wasn't always very smart. Right, boss time. He's out the way. If you believe YouTube, then you'd think that Midnight and Player Housing is coming tomorrow. We have a whole season and a half before then. Well, it's as soon as 11.2 launches, there's no doubt in my mind. In fact, there's a strong chance that we'll have a Gamescom announcement on the 19th. Midnight announcement on the 19th. Then something's got to happen very quickly after that. Because we're at the point where it isn't actually all that long in the grand scheme of things until we do get at least player housing. They're probably going to squeeze. I would imagine they'll do the same thing as last time. They'll have Legion Remix be the very last thing that just basically rolls into the pre-patch rolls into the launch of Midnight. That's going to be a very last thing. That means we need a Midnight Alpha before not too long. We at least need to see player housing in somewhat shape or form. Gamescom is probably, for this moment in time, I will say probably have player housing playable for those in attendance, I would imagine. Which means we should maybe even get an announcement, I would guess, of when we're going to actually get player housing. Would be my assumption. So it's all going to start happening quite quickly from this point on. This is why I kind of don't worry. I'm not too worried about the fact that I don't see, I don't see very long legs on 11.2. The new zone is, I'm going to be honest, it feels average. Average is fine. I don't mind average when I suspect there's going to be a lot of other stuff to keep us busy and, pay attention to. I'm not too worried about the final zone being average. You'll have some good quest lines. There'll be a week's worth of good play, and then it'll just be basically, log in, do the weekly stuff, GG. I'm not too worried about that. You may get the alpha. I should, if everything goes to plan, I should get the alpha this time. Being an actual WoW partner now should help with that. I can poke people and be like, oi, I would like to test this, please. But obviously stuff like that is never guaranteed. There was a slight blessing and a curse, really, with the alpha last time. Not having the alpha was really kind of quite annoying. But it gave me more emphasis to hit Remix really hard, if I remember right. And actually, Remix was really fun, so I'm glad we could. Did they cross over? I can't remember. Or was it the start of the beta that crossed over with? No, because the beta rolled straight into the launch for the War Within. So the beta turned up about 8 weeks before the game launched and basically rolled straight in, which was the tail end of Remix by that point, because Remix went on for, in my opinion, too long. Didn't Panda Remix last for like almost 3 months last time? I don't know, I forget the timelines on this stuff. Right, we should be able to go turn in that key, right, and get an upgrade to our belt. That should have also probably given us some more. Okay, we got 91 gilded. That's perfect. That's exactly enough to make another piece of crafted gear. And to make it properly. Which means I might, because we are going to get a cloak, it makes no sense making the cloak, meaning I will make a ring. I'll make a crafted ring. We'll get a 681 fortune crafted ring in place of this. And we'll ignore this, because we're going to replace it within a minute anyway. Aha. The next quest. Defeat 8 Titan constructs and complete an overcharged delve. Now I can just blast these, right? I don't have to do anything particularly fancy for these. 691. 694. Overcharged cash. Some more ruined, actually. I hope they're going to sell beta as usual in the Epic Edition. I don't know what they're planning to do this time. Annoyingly, early access just worked too well. Didn't matter how much of a stink people kicked up about it. Early access just worked too well, I think. The numbers will speak for itself. I think Blizzard made far too much money by selling 4 days early access. Annoyingly, that will happen again, which will piss people right off, because it'll be like, right, it's been a shorter expansion and you're making me, and I paid more for it, and now I'm paying more for the next one, which is also definitely going to be shorter as well. So that will trigger some people for sure. But unfortunately, the early access worked far too well. Defeat Titan constructs and complete an overcharged delve. Can I just go back and do Kriegvol's Rest again, but do it on like 1 and just YOLO it? In fact, no, I flipping hate that delve. That delve's a real pain in the ass. Is there another? It was 2 overcharged delves, right? On the spiral weave. Hello, wife. Hello, little lady. No, I'm streaming. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds, boys and girls. Why are you playing that stupid game whilst the dishes are not done? I emptied the dishwasher. Shut up. Right. Do them all on a 1. If overcharged, you need nothing else. Side street can be nice, short to spam. Never mind, it's not up. It's only 2 a day, isn't it? So I've either got Kriegvoll's Rest or the Spiral Weave, which are both icky sticky. So annoyingly, maybe we just don't go do this candle one again a couple of times. It's close. But we'll do them on 1s. We'll just YOLO through them. That's the plan. I'm gonna make my ring. Actually, that's more fun. Since I am a Jawn crafter. What do we need then? What do we need? Need some mats for sure. Oh, we need our Resty Doodah thing. We need an enchanted gilded undermine crest. And then we need the gilded augmentation matrixy doodah, right? One of you. Shit, what did I do? You receive enchant. Where'd it go? There it is. One of you. We need one of you. And then we need some mats to make the thing. You think they won't change professions in any way for midnight? They'll just add things for player housing and that's it. I really am at the point where I don't know what they're going to do with professions now. It's too much of a big. They're not going to go backwards. Let's put it that way. Blizzard doesn't go backwards, right? Yet the consensus is so loud that professions are too complicated these days. And there is some justification to that. You can't kind of fully lean on the fact that you can be like, well, if it's too complicated and you don't like it, don't do it. Because of this, professions play a part in everybody's gameplay. They've done a really good job of integrating crafted stuff into the gearing and the progression. So, like it or not, you have to integrate with the professions in some way. If you don't want to do them yourself, you at least have to roughly know how they work so that you can get somebody else to do it for you. That's kind of the system they've made. So regardless on whether you do PvP, whether you raid log, whether you do world quests, whether you collect pet, whatever your poison, you kind of have to at least have some integration with the profession somewhere. And this means that I really think they might have to try dumbing them down. Annoyingly, they might just have to dumb them down. Or they will have to limit the impact of them even further, which I think is the wrong choice. The wrong choice is to make them matter less, because when they matter less, it's significantly less useful for those who do enjoy them as they are right now. So logic tells me that they will probably slim down the system in some way, shape, or form. I think they absolutely have to fix this catch-up thing, and they have to fix public orders. Are the two things I am convinced they have to do something with. There's too much frustration from players that they look at this tree and they feel as if they'll never get anywhere with it. And the fact that even if you're consistent with your professions, there's 6 months worth of consistent weekly quests to fill it. And daily quests pretty much by the time that you have to, if you miss a day or you miss a week's worth of knowledge points, you'll catch up. You can't, this is the weird thing, right? You get points, your knowledge points come to you initially weekly, but then your catch up forces you into a daily routine. They have to change that. That's backwards. That's totally backwards. Your catch up system shouldn't force you to play the game more than you should have done previously. I recently gave Blizzard some feedback on this and said that your 3 knowledge points a day as your catch up is basically an insult. That's got to change. I gave him some suggestions on how to rectify that. Maybe making patron orders just continuously spawn once you've completed one until you are close to catch up, or give people a chance to refresh the patron orders. So if they turn up and they're completely dog shit, they can press refresh, but limit the amount of times you can refresh them, for example. Give players more ability to churn through more catch up. Just has to happen. Without question. If they don't do that, they're going to get less and less people not that they're going to get less and less people using the professions. They're just going to annoy more people because people are going to be forced to use them and then not like them, which is not what you want in a video game, in a product that's designed for entertainment, Even when you know how they work, it's crazy the amount of quote-unquote crafters who don't. Constantly getting annoyed with people demanding huge commissions and you provide max rank materials? No. I'm giving you a huge commission because there's no reason for me to buy... so there's no reason for me to buy those materials. You're very much in the minority with that. I think. Very much in the minority with that. Although I do kind of agree with you that I since day one have wondered why players placing orders are required to provide the materials. That just seems so illogical to me. And I think that allowing players to provide the materials actually makes the system more complicated than it needs to be. Because it puts the emphasis on the people who are not the crafters, who are not the ones who are supposed to have the knowledge, to have the knowledge. How am I supposed to know what materials you need to press on your screen, right? And it's meant that the default is just you provide rank 3 everything. You just provide rank 3 everything. And the reality is in many cases, crafters don't need that. And there are other options. Crafters would probably like to have a little bit more control over it, right? If an order comes in for... I've always thought that if an order comes in for a binding of binding, and you as the crafter have a little bit. You as the crafter have to provide the core crafting materials: the blasphemite, the ambivalent ambers, the nullstone, the crushed gemstones. You get to use the optimal materials which create the thing that the person wants at the cheapest price, and then that becomes your way of doing it. If somebody turns up and they just provide you 25 rank 3 crushed gemstones, it costs them probably more than they need. The only benefit to you is if you magically proc resourcefulness on it, and then you've obviously got a few bonus quality 3 materials, but that might not even happen. The better thing I've always thought would be somebody that wants a Binding of Binding, puts the order in, gives you their spark, and then the crafter provides the materials, and the person putting the order in has to put in a tip, a gold value. And that gold value, if it's too low, the order gets sent back. This is the thing, right? And this would mean that there would be a market value for each crafted item. And they even, you know categorically that's how they designed it initially. You know they designed it for that, because when you go to the public order thing, there's even that button that shows you the outstanding orders. I probably won't be able to show it very well now, because there probably won't be any outstanding orders of anything. But when you go to place an order, there's this, the view similar orders. And anything that's outstanding will show here, and it'll show you. This doesn't need to be similar orders. This could simply be your realm's order history. You know, what was the most recent price that an order was filled on a certain crafted item? And then that can give, oh, okay, well, you know, Binding of Bindings have been selling for 5,000 gold a piece. If I give 4,000 gold, my order's probably not going to get filled, is it? But if I put 7,000 gold, maybe my order will get filled first and I'll get it quickly. Then that means people who are not crafting don't have to worry about what materials do I need, flipping how many of them do I need, what quality of them do I need. They don't need to worry about all of that. And they're not the crafter. They're not meant to worry about that. This is how trade has always happened, literally forever. You provide currency, I provide the expertise, we exchange, we go our ways. Done. Easy peasy. These are the things that I think need simplifying. The only reason they're not simple now is because Blizzard's insistence that everybody plays with a new system when that system is new. But the crafting system's not new anymore. By midnight, it will be the 3rd expansion with the current crafting system. So it's not new at that point. They don't have to force people to use it. They've got their engagement metrics. They should be good. They now need to actually make it flipping easy to use. I like how you disagreed with me and then made my exact same point. I didn't disagree with you. I said you're in the minority. Because I've put this forward as a thought many a time, and more often than not, the pushback is that I don't mind providing all the materials, or if I provide the materials, I can provide some of my own materials. But then those same people are the same ones that complain that I don't. Why, you know? The same people that will complain that everything is costing far too flipping much because they have to go to the auction house and buy rank 3 everything, otherwise the order doesn't get filled. I feel like a broken record because I've literally had the same point of view on this for nearly 4 years. I'm waiting for the day they actually listen to me and they actually do it, because they have to at some point. Is this the ring we need? This is just your basic ass jewel crafting ring, isn't it? There's no need for me to make the Binding of Binding, is there? Considering they do the same though, is it not worth doing this anyway? What is the on use on this thing? Your spells and abilities have a chance to empower each unique gem color of an ally's socketed gems. This boon grants 391 to each empowered secondary staff of 15. This will always target your bonded ally if able. Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, that's just I'm never going to use that, am I? I'll just make the standard earthen ring of craftsmanship then, I guess. Oh shit, do I even have a spark? Is this the right spark? Omens is last season, Fortunes is this season. I need a Blasphemite, I need 8 gems, and I need 20 marble stone. Could they make it easier on the crafting orders then? Like integrate parts with the auction house so people who don't want to craft, they can auto buy mats or select them directly from the order interface? Oh yeah, there's so many little things they could do to make the whole system simpler. The whole system has, in my opinion, been made deliberately difficult. Deliberately difficult so that the most amount of people have to learn it and have to use it. They could very easily remove nearly all of the friction from it and make it a very, very, very clever, very easy to use system. But there are signs that they've chosen not to do that, so more people play with it. And almost in a way to maybe incentivize more people to level up their own professions. That clearly if you get annoyed trying to do all of this business to put in an order for somebody else, I'm not sure that really incentivizes that many people to go, you know what, maybe I should just level junk crafting myself. But it still makes me feel like a lot of the decisions were made to just maximize the amount of people that engage with it. You know if the Mechagon farm for springs still works? Absolutely no clue. Absolutely no clue. Ginny seems to believe it does though, so. A lot of the time when Blizzard brings in a new system, it feels like they've put it in and then forget about it. Well, they've openly said that they make some stuff with no intention of iterating on it at all. But the problem is that crafting is so integrated to the entire game. When crafting is so integrated to the entire game that it cannot be something that they just ignore. Still don't get that you can learn all the specializations whilst they have no such attention on alts. You're also not a specialist when you know all the trades. Yeah, like even the phrase specialization is a complete oxymoron when you can actually fill all the trees and be not specialized in anything. Arguably, to be 100% optimal in everything is... it just doesn't make sense, does it? But this is another thing that I've stated. This is why I think this specializations might get toned back, but they don't really need to tone back the specializations. They kind of... I gotta be careful here. They dumbed them down from Dragonflight. They made them more easy to understand than they were in Dragonflight. In Dragonflight, there was a lot more, you need to put 20 points over here and 10 points over here. There is still quite a bit of that in terms of the fact that you do still have, if you are going through concrete chitin tree and you want to make shoulders as optimally as possible, yes, you need 30 points here, 30 points here, 20 points here, but you might also still need points over here, for example. Where is it? Like You might want to put lots of points in waste not as well to increase your resourcefulness. So if you're mass producing, say a low level or a leveling piece of gear or something, that you are keeping your crafting cost as low as possible. So there's still a little bit of cross specialization, pollination, maybe. But at least they've made the tooltips and stuff easier to understand in the War Within. So they might need to try and find a way to make this just more user-friendly. Alternatively, a lot of that problem will go away if they fix the catch-up system. If they make the catch-up system faster, and that's literally all it needs to be. It's fine being on patron orders, just needs to be faster. Just make it quicker. Give it so that players can, if they do their 3 daily orders that give them a flicker, once they complete one of these, make another one turn up instantly. And allow players to just churn through them if they want to. It still costs them to do in most cases, because not all of them are free, and I don't think they should be free. But quite simply, you can have 3 visible at any time, and if you complete one, just spawn another one instantly, and keep doing that until you're within 20 points of caught up. Like, it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. But giving you 3 and then making you wait until the next day to get 3 more is actually kind of insulting. That means you can only catch up 21 points a week maximum, and that's if you do all of them and you log in 7 days straight. When 21 catch up, when you have a tree that has like, Dawn Crafting has nearly 700 points in it, I think. 21 a week maximum when a tree has 700 in the first place. It's kind of insulting. So it's good that, you know, it's a step in the right direction with patron orders, but they need to like amp it a little bit. Give it a boost. Give it a boost. I kind of think the feedback I gave Blizz was that enchanting is a little bit too fast. Enchanting's a little bit too easy. And because enchanting is too easy, it makes all of the other professions look even worse. Enchanting's a bit too easy because it's kind of just like you throw a bunch of gold at it, you buy a bunch of one thing, and then you just power it to max in like an hour. It's a little bit too much. But I think using this and then just respawning so that every time you complete an order, boom, another one pops up. You can have 3 up at any given point. You can cherry pick which ones. Maybe even give people like a decline order button. A decline order button that has a 1 out of, you know, a 0 to 5 charge on the decline orders. You get 1 decline every day. So maybe you can stack up 5 declines, and then on 1 day of the week, you can just bang through a few of your catch-up orders. And if one's really stinky that provides no reagents, you can go, no, go away, decline order, and it'll just spawn another one. None of this is rocket science. None of this is hard to implement. But it would make the whole system feel so much better. They should have made a new carpenter profession instead of spreading the patterns across the existing professions. Oh, for player housing, you mean? I still think there might be a new gathering thing. They did say there's going to be no new main crafting profession, but there's a lot that could be said in what they didn't say. And they didn't say... They specifically chose to say there's going to be no new crafting profession. But a secondary profession, a gathering profession, lumberjack or something, is very plausible still, I think. Right, we need one of them. I've purged all of my mats, so I don't have anything. I'm not going to bother making them themselves. I'm just going to buy the mats myself. Oh, no, wait, it's over here, isn't it? One of you. Can I get away with using concentration? Yeah. Find out. The hell is all of this? Where did all of that come from? I don't know what half of that was. Oh yeah, shit, I need missives, don't I? Gonna get one of you. Gonna get one of you. I'm gonna need missives. What missives do I want? Haste crit? Are we doing haste crit these days? Crit haste. Crit haste. Crit haste. And then before somebody says sim it, absolutely not. We'll just go crit haste. Missive of Hungary, missive of where's crit haste? Crit haste, fire flash. Right, let's try again. One of you. One of you. You. Is that right? 681 crafted. About right, doesn't it? That'll do. Oh, missing a socket on it. Means we need one of these things. Where's it gone? One of you. You got on rings, right? Null stone, blast for my marble stone. I'll flip it. I might just buy one. Much easier. Right, double sockets, and we've gone crit haste gems in there as well. To what? Quick summon or others. What are they? Quick emeralds? Oh, that. What's my gem of choice? What have I used in my other stuff? What we got in here? Quick rubies. Need 2 more quick rubies. No materials. I'll just buy them. I'm too lazy to get the materials today. There you go. Somebody can have 3k. This is my point. I'm pretty good at making gold, but I'm also pretty good at just unnecessarily spending it too. There we go. There we go. Oh, I've just realised we're not going to get the achievement for... You have to get... Isn't there an achievement for getting 675 everything? That's not going to happen though, is it, with half my gear being hero? My item level is good enough, but... This thing's letting me down. Isn't that why you had to get good at making gold? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. When you got a good spending habit, you need to keep the cash flowing. Alright, well that's gonna hold me back, whatever. Alright. That's at least fixed that little problem. Let's blast out a couple more delves. You can squeeze your way to 675 with a few gilded crafted pieces in hero. Well, I mean, I've got the item level, but it's isn't it that every piece needs to be 675 though? Because hero goes to 671. Maybe it's this that's holding me back. Maybe it's because I've not had a good enough... I don't know, whatever. I don't care. You should actually have the achieve. Maybe it's a log out, log in job. Do a reload. How are we doing, Bakoto, by the way? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I don't know what the... I don't even know what it's called. Worry about it next time. Right, let's go do this delve another couple of quick times. Oh, there we go. Gilded of Undermine. That's the one. Obtain an average item level of 675. Oh, there we go. Gilded of Undermine. Just took its sweet time. One. Overcharged. Go. That a goblin who barely engages with raids or mythic plus has the same or higher item level as those that are doing heroic raids, maybe with 1 to 3 mythic bosses and mythic plus 10s, 12s. It is kind of crazy. It is kind of wild. It is a little bit ridiculous. Although my argument would be that I've had to put in significantly more effort than somebody that does 10s and 12s. In terms of like weekly consistency. Hence, I wouldn't be able to easily do this on multiple characters, really. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, I'm meant to be blasting this. What are we doing? We're keepsakes, these things, right? Unplug those. We need to do anything with these? I don't know. That's just a regular chest I don't care about. Oh, there's another one over here. Yoink. Right, see if we can do these relatively quickly. We have a bigger gap than ever from Season 2 to Season 3. Veteran gear is going to be 670 plus in 1 week. The yeah, the seasonal reset really does feel like big these days. Like, genuinely anything you've done in Season 2 is basically null and void within seconds in Season 3. Why can't I go through here? What have I missed? Oh, a chest. Somebody made the point the other day as well that, like, one of the only things that's not seasonal about retail now is actually the professions as well. Which is actually a really good point when you think about it. And it kind of leans nicely into one of the suggestions I kind of had for the knowledge points as a catch-up thing. My kind of suggestion to keep things relatively fair and relatively fresh was if they actually put... There's definitely work with this theory, but the idea of putting a seasonal cap on the amount of knowledge points you can get would allow people to... And then any knowledge points from the past season could be very quickly caught up. So that would sort of seasonalize the crafting system in the same way everything else is. I mean, because, you know, if everything's going to be seasonal, then why are the professions not? I think if they gave you, like, I don't know, it means they would kind of have to try to normalize a little bit just how many knowledge points each profession has, but they're within like 500 to 800 each right now. If they made every profession have like 600 knowledge points, you know, season 1 you can get 200. And so you'd still have your first 8 weeks of people trying to be optimal and min-maxing and all that sort of business. But then once you hit that like 200 limit, which, you know, your min-maxers can do in like 2 months, you know, everybody else can slowly work to that 200 limit, and then everybody starts the next season with a similar amount of knowledge points. You know, your early birds get the early bird advantage, the opportunity to make the real gold. And if you didn't play in the past season, whereas right now you are just kind of scuffed. You're kind of hard scuffed if you didn't play in the last season. Where everything else gets this kind of like soft reset between seasons. You could make, you know, the seasonal cap on knowledge points go from 200 up to 400 and make that first 200 like extra speedy to get. You know, there are options. There are means to which they could make the professions much more user-friendly. Hello? What? Oh shit. Maybe running through that fire is not a good idea. I never assumed that'd kill me on this. If they do seasonalize it, then I'd expect some new content as well, same as with the rest. I think the one guy out there that is probably more frustrated than anybody else, and quite rightly so, is Zanzifor. Like, he is almost more of a profession junkie than I am. I know he loves his alts and building a big alt army and whatever, but he's almost more of a profession junkie than me. And the fact that the War Within is now... Look at how... with going into Season 3, knowing just what we know about how many new recipes we get, how many new stuff we get, I would go on record to say that War Within is probably the expansion with the least post-launch progression development for a long time. Like, how far do we need to go back before we get a scenario where we had less? So obviously Dragonflight, we got a few bits and pieces. We got upgraded bits. I think it's all fresh in the memory enough that we got a reasonable amount of stuff in Dragonflight season on season. It wasn't as much as we would have liked, but we got some in. We go back to Shadowlands. We had new shit every season. We were chasing new... Obviously, we had Legos then, so we were chasing new shit left, right, and center. You go back to BFA before, like... Back even further, you go to BFA. We had things like Tools of the Trade come later on in the expansion. A whole new refresh. Zones came with new materials each and every time. This is actually... even Legion, we started with, oh god, what was it called? Obliterum. And then we got extra bits and pieces later on. This is the first expansion for a long time where we basically haven't had any iteration on the professions at all. Player housing, I suppose, is something that is still to come, that will add stuff, but we don't know what or how much. If it will probably only equal, my guess here is it will only equal what we got with, what was it called? The, going back to all the ancient recipes that we got, the old classic recipes being re-implemented in Dragonflight. It will be an equivalent, similar amount of content, I reckon. The question for me, though, is if they launch housing and they are going to do like a lumberjack kind of secondary profession or a gathering profession with it, then that has to come before midnight as well. That can't be a midnight launch thing, because that would have to come with housing, in theory. I don't know. But yeah, it's probably the least... We've probably seen the least amount of profession updates this expansion than we have almost ever. And it's a difficult argument because with the seasonal nature of gearing, there is like a new influx of like work orders that turns up every season, right? Everybody needs to replace their gear, and more importantly, everybody needs to upgrade their crafting gear. So it's the War Within has kept the existing content more relevant, but at the same time, they haven't really given crafters much of any change or additional things to chase after. So it's kind of a 50-50. We do the same delve again, by the way. I guess we can. Oh, it gave us another overcharged chest. Interesting. Make a system where you can sell your own collected Mog appearances and cosmetics, or even Mogs, of course. If you do, you would lose the Mount Mog, etc. So you can farm it again, but could also sell it like legacy sets. What, you mean? There's a reason historically why Blizzard haven't done that. This is why bind on pickup kind of exists. And it's because otherwise you get people farming accounts and selling accounts. And then when people feel they quit the game, they try and liquidate. And because they're quitting the game, they don't care about being banned. And so it creates a lot of a big old black market of nastiness. And RMT and all sorts of silly business. There is some annoyingly underhanded reasons why that sort of system doesn't exist, even though there is an element of it that'd be quite cool. Blizzard put out a blue post again the other day. I don't know if you guys saw another blue post being like, "Oh, please don't buy gold from third parties. Please buy it from us." It's like, okay, Blizz. Clearly, Mr. Pandaria's launched, so you've had to remind people that maybe you should buy the token, not all of this. Funny. Please buy your gold from us. I wish Blizzard did create a code, you know. I'd shill the shit out of buying tokens if Blizzard gave me a creator code. I've wondered for a long time why Blizzard hasn't done something like that for creators. Blizzard's kind of pretty good about that. Like, Blizzard's one of the companies that is kind of pretty good to their creators, to the people that, you know, arguably work for them for free, with in terms of, you know, marketing and all of that. Creator codes for purchases on the Battle.net store or even the real gear store. Technically, I can get an affiliate link for the actual gear store, but this is one reason why I think Rumble failed, you know. Without going too into detail about Rumble, rip Rumble, by the way, but the fact they didn't give their creators a creator code, so that the creators get a kickback of any, I can't remember what they were. They were probably called gems of some sort. I can't remember. The fact they didn't do that for Rumble meant anybody that's like got a community in that genre was never going to step away from Supercell. Right? Do I play Clash Royale? Do I play Clash of Clans? Do I shill my creator code for anybody that buys gems? Or do I do it for free for Blizzard? Look at Jinxie, one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, absolutely shilling the shit out of his creator code whilst playing Clash Royale and shit to 50,000 people. Just little things like this that I sometimes wonder Blizzard's missing a trick on. Like, they tried to make a mobile game, but they didn't want to play the mobile game, and so the mobile industry crushed them. Like, play the game or get played. How long did Rumble actually last? Less than 2 years? I mean, for its launch, I was really... I even made a little... I was having loads of fun playing Rumble at the beginning. Blizzard offered something alongside the gold, make it lucrative for the buyer. They might consider buying a token, like chip in some tender or something that the gold sellers can't offer. The USP, it's not a terrible idea. I don't want to see tender hit the store, but that's not a terrible idea. You know, to offer something that the gold sellers just physically can't compete with. They can compete with them on gold price and probably very handsomely do. I would imagine gold sellers are selling their gold for probably 50% of what a token costs. That has to be their appeal. They have to be significantly cheaper than a token in order to counteract the fact that, you know, you can get your account banned for doing it. All I'll say is that the real money market is thriving in Russia. SOD, one especially, and now Panda. Oh yeah, I mean without question. I mean, to my knowledge, I don't think Russia has a way to pay or play for the game outside of gold, which also leaves them not very many downsides to RMTing the shit out of it either, to be honest. Because what they're going to do, ban them from a game they're not really able to buy in the first place. What's that theory? You know, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't theft. It's like similar concept with RMT over in Russia, I would imagine. If you're not going to let me buy the game, then my moral code isn't probably very I'm not stealing anything from you if you don't let me buy the game. Did I hear that right? Blizzard has stopped development on Rumble. Yeah, the entire Rumble team has been ditched. They've been let go, which is a shame. Games now on long term, just, you know, it's on death row basically. They said they will keep it up for the purpose of maintenance, but it'll have no additional content. They got Hotsid. Yep. Proper Hotsid. And at the same time, you look at the Diablo community right now. The Diablo community is really frustrated because Diablo Immortal seems to be getting updates faster than the Diablo 4. And annoyingly, follow the fucking money, right? Diablo Immortal is still printing cash. Printing money. Diablo 4, probably not so much. You buy Diablo 4 once, you buy... Yeah, you know, they've been struggling to monetize Diablo past its initial sale. And this is annoyingly the downside of when gaming becomes like a real business. Follow the money. Because Diablo 4 was ass. Well, that also is strong part of it, yes. Ow, that hurts. Ow, that hurts. Running out of flipping candles. Yeah, the worst thing Diablo 4 did, I think, was launch it about a year earlier than they probably should have done. They lost, in my opinion, they lost far too much of their early adopters' goodwill with launching it in a complete ass fashion. They should have delayed it for another year, as expensive as that would have been. Got it right. But then they scuffed the launch of D4. And then a year later, when it should have released, instead tried to sell you an expansion pack, which I think was also a bit of an oof moment, really. Like, you're trying to sell me an expansion pack, you've barely made the base game even, you know, remotely what was initially sold. I, for one, used to really enjoy on quite a regular basis going back and just blasting Diablo 3. And in fact, the surprising thing is to this day, you probably see more people go back for Diablo 3 seasons than you do D4 seasons. Because for some reason, I can't quite put my finger on it, but Diablo 3 has seemingly really good replayability. Diablo 4, on the other hand, it doesn't seem to have that pull. Once you've done it, you've done it. And I don't know. Thor is gaining minus 269 followers an hour on Twitch. That's impressive. How to piss off nearly 300 people an hour on Twitch. I don't even have 300 concurrent viewers to piss off, never mind for them to all unfollow. It's kind of wild, isn't it? I was paying no attention to the quest. Did I actually complete what the hell I was in here to do? I was just casually strolling through it. I'm going to assume I did what I need to do. But Blizzard could have, yeah, you know, Derp's right. Blizzard could have absolutely had a cash cow with Rumble, but my perspective on it is that they tried to get in on the mobile game market, but were not willing to play the mobile game. And paid the price, being that they didn't make enough money, they didn't gain enough players, they didn't market it anywhere near enough aggressively, in my opinion. And 18 months later, they shut it down because it done make no money. Are we still not done? Surely that's it right now. Surely that's max rank. 701. 701's as high as it goes, right? Minus 210k in the last 30 days over on YouTube. Flipping hell. Surely that's max rank now, right? It's giving me another quest, but I don't know if I need to actually go do it. Or is this just like... Oh, okay, this is just to get your weekly overcharged chest, okay. I mean, I get 12 ruined undermine crests from this. I wonder how many of these I've got in the, you know, in the backlog. I might be able to use these crests actually to upgrade this. No, I need 60 gilded to upgrade it. Not that I need to, but I've got nothing else to upgrade, so... No reason not to. What did the previous dev at Blizz do now? Pirate Software is such an interesting case study. It's an interesting case study because when you look back at it with hindsight, it was a ticking time bomb. It was a ticking time bomb that was, you know, the fuse was going to go at some point. He gained so much popularity so quickly that level of like viral success always comes with like a monumental downfall almost just as quick. But the reality is if he goes from zero, well, he didn't go from zero, did he? He was before his blow up, he was still technically a 200 to 300 viewer streamer. He was still a very well established streamer. But when he went stratospherical, like 15,000 concurrent viewers in the space of 6 months, like you gain that much so quickly, he'll still, regardless of what happens of his downfall, he'll still end up being like 2,000-3,000 viewers per stream quite comfortably. So I mean, he'll still like be significantly better off than he was before his blow up, but he's now forever and a day gonna have a bit of a reputation on the internet. It's just been an egomaniac, and he will probably never really be able to shake that, regardless of the fact that, you know, it's not his only personality trait. He is a pretty clever guy. He does, for the most part, know what he's talking about. It's just his inability to ever just turn around and go, you know what, you're probably right. Like, he doesn't have the ability to, he's got no flex, which on the internet, you've got to have some flex. Eventually, if you live on the internet, eventually you have to at some point go, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong. You have to have some flex, even if you don't believe it. You at least, you know, this is why all those bullshit apology videos turn up. There comes a point where you do something, you say something, you realize it's silly, and you should just go, you know what, you're right. Let's forget about it, move on. But if you're that rigid and you have absolutely no flex, then you're just in for a world of hurt. Genuinely. Right, I am unfortunately going to have to do Operation Bag Cleanup. Ugh, not a job that's enjoyable, but we do need to purge through all of this trash. The alternative is, well, at the moment, it's soulbound, and it's not higher item level than what I've already got equipped. It goes in the bin. Because we absolutely don't need it anymore. Why I've still got oh, this is all greedy goblin event stuff. Even these shoulders, for example, they just go in the bin now. Well, there was a 1 out of 2 on these. Can I do something with these? Are already tier set. These can be upgraded. I don't know. We'll hold on to them for a minute. You go in the bin. You go in the bin. You're actually really quite cool, so we keep you. All of these trinkets go in the bin now. I don't care about any of these trinkets anymore. See you later, see you later, see you later. Ill tabard we need. Random bag we need. These we need. Random ass neck. See you later. Hadimar, welcome in, welcome in. Been a while. Yeah, it's I'm slowly getting back into the rhythm of streaming. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Hope you've had a good summer. People are now stating that he was a dev at Blizzard. I know he never said that. He started as customer support and then went into security stuff. Yeah. Hackers are most of the time know-it-all, dickhead. Well, you see, this is it. Like I said, in a bubble, and this is why I said he was a ticking time bomb. He was only ever going to get so big before people started taking offense to that type of personality trait that a person like him just so often has. Binned Biss Trinket? What was Biss Trinket? I mean, it probably wasn't for me. Even if it is, it's going in the bin. That's the ring we've just replaced with our crafted one. Oh, hang on, I'm missing an enchant on that ring as well, aren't I? I can enchant it with 315 haste. Is that the one I've just replaced? Or is that the one I've just picked up? I think I've just picked that up, haven't I? It's the same as what I've got. Why have I got 180 Breath of Bond Swandies all of a sudden? Sure, I'm going to need them for something at some point. Well, I absolutely do. Look at all of that. Look at all of those pieces of crafted gear I need. These flipping things are soulbound, though. Right, what else have we got that's not nailed down that either doesn't need to be sold? A lot of this BOE stuff will still maintain some value after the patch. Although right now, a lot of it is just dead in the water. Maybe I send it to my bank dude and forget about it. What we got here? Trog Beta? No flipping way that's worth 80k. Why did I pay 6k for that thing? Why have I got random ass shit that I've been buying? That doesn't make no sense. Why have I bought 3 of them as well? How's that happen then? Already known. Bind on Equip Cosmetics? The Greedy Goblin event? That's a weird one. We keep that. Right, get rid of that lot. What are you doing down here? Go away. Okay, we're getting closer to the inventory that should be. Now I think we just need to send a bunch of stuff over to Banktheus and he can deal with it. I got banned real fast when I asked about the mana thing back when, so I haven't bothered. Can't be asked with streamer drama. It's just fun to see somebody fuck about and find out. Yeah, the problem, and this is where I think there was an element of he blew up so goddamn fast. Like, if I was him in his position, the first thing I'd have done after that flipping WoW hardcore thing happened, right? And shit started to get real fast. The first thing I'd have done would have been turned off the stream, stopped going on social media, and I'd have gone on vacation for a month. Just disappear, right? Just turn everything off, log off, come back in a month. Like, the point is when you've blown up to that point, when you're a creator of that size, there's money isn't the question anymore. So for you to take a month off doesn't cost you anything, right? In the grand scheme of things, he should have just disappeared, gone dark, and then came back a month later, not played hardcore WoW, gone back to his usual 10,000 concurrent viewers of like wannabe game devs, and it should like let the dust settle, go away, come back, and the internet will have something else to complain about. But because he like dug his feet in and was like, no, I'm right, the whole world is wrong, you're gonna get obliterated by the internet if you take that stance. So it's like yeah, the best thing you can do in that scenario is just log off, come back a month later, job done. Okay. I've also got a random ass bunch of materials, which I actually think most of these go into Bank Theus as well. Settle all of this random rubbish. Because I don't have the TSM profile set up to deal with all of this right now. Make it go away. Okay. The Ashes vid of him totally roasting the raid for pulling an ad is funnier because it was actually him who pulled it, and he just acts. Yeah. And that was like 3 days after the WoW thing as well, and it's just like, oh, it's such a facepalm. He should be on a beach sipping a margarita right now, letting the dust settle. Like, instead it's a funny case study. It genuinely is a funny case study. What is this? Deadly duo shit. Off you go. Spare toolbox. I ain't ever using these. Go away. Random ass potions that just should really be sold. Augment runes that are going to be worth nothing soon. What's happening with Radiant Echoes? Are these things resetting again? But the only thing I can do is basically turn these into keys, right? And keys are going to get reset as well. So there's no point, right? Do I just ignore these Radiant Echoes? I've ignored them the entire season, so maybe we'll just ignore them. They'll go away again. Oh, hello, we got more stuff here that needs to get sent somewhere. That needs to be dealt with. That needs to be sent somewhere. Get rid of that. That needs to be put in the war bank. Where's the rest of these? I've got 4 in my warband. I've got 6 in total somewhere. Radiant service emblems. They're going to be useful when I try to get around collecting everything. Season 2 coffer keys. Flipping check cards. Need to use these at some point. Gunk covered thingies. I need to use these as well. Okay, the rest of it looks quite good. Undermine Crest Ascension. What the hell? Right, if in doubt, send it to the bank character. Call it a day. Oh, what's this? Oh, 34 slot bag. Soulbound. What's my bag situation on the go? 34, 36, 34, 36, 36. So 34 slot bag. Alright, see you later. Okay. That, I think, is the bags done. Within reason. We're as close as done as we need them to be done. Now, next quest is not to fill it with shit in the next however many days until the patch launches. That's the task. Did I do patron orders on this dude? I don't think I did I? Let's get some profession stuff done. I think it's still the old honey, I can't come to bed right now, somebody on the internet is wrong. that approach basically only works if you're in a bubble. And even then it doesn't work particularly well. How do you make the reagent bag part of the one bag? Well, this is using Bagnator, I think. And there's probably an option in there. Mine isn't, right? Mine's still separated at the bottom. Radiant Echoes was such a miss. I think I've done 3 of them, the whole expansion. Yeah, I found that when I needed... I spent half of my time doing delves, but I didn't need what was in the box. Certainly didn't need it enough to go do the Radiant Echoes to get bonus keys. So I just didn't open the box at the end of a lot of delves and don't feel as if I lost anything by not opening the box. The piece of gear that would have popped out of it was too low for me to use. So yeah, I equally didn't really feel the need to go do these Radiant Echo things. They were just an annoyance. That said, there's an absolute boatload of like flipping achievements and stuff attached to them, which you know is going to be part of the meta at the end of the expansion. But what can you do? Oh, that's not a very nice list of work orders, is it? That's grim. I think I only need 3 orders for the weekly anyway. I'm just somewhat maybe trying to keep on top of orders. I should finish the expansion with all of the Spectres full, shouldn't I really, considering the position I'm in, but it may or may not happen on some professions. Because I'm hard slack with these daily patron order businesses. Hard slack. That's a better list. You. Yeah, the 2 flickers were like 1,000 gold. So they're just not going to get done. No, this one. What am I supposed to do with the thousands of artisans? Also with the knowledge points, I'm maxed out. Well, artisan security can be turned into the bags at 600 a piece. There's the chance of recipes and stuff in those still. I don't think they've had an update since expansion launch though, so... Well, there's not really been any additional recipes added since expansion launch, so... That's really the only thing you can... I'm sat on 3,000 of the stuff and don't know what to do with it. It's, yeah. 600 goodie bags. It'll give you tier 3 mats. Maybe maybe bank them. Wait until the spike in mats in a couple of weeks' time. Cash in your artisan security then, maybe. Dragonflight, you could exchange the knowledge points for... Yeah, you could. I don't think they've added that vendor this time round. I think they're just going to use the goodie bags as the cash out option. Would be my guess. Open like 30 of those bags, got one recipe. Yeah, it doesn't happen all that often, but the tier 3 mats are worth something. Most people who have like bonus artisan security don't really attach any value to it in the first place. People don't really feel as if they bought this. You're probably only doing the patron orders if they're profitable in the first place. And you got the knowledge point. The knowledge point was probably the thing you actually wanted. So the reality is most people consider artisan security just like a free currency. Like something is better than nothing. And, you know, a little goodie bag of tier 3 mats is probably sufficient. It doesn't need to be super rewarding because it's just basically a freebie little bonus anyway. I haven't even felt the need this expansion to make a huge amount of different fashion crafting tools either. I've got 2 bonus jewel crafting ones here and 1 bonus leatherworking knife, but I've basically not felt the need to craft 2 or 3 tools on a lot of my characters. Season 2, I've done like nearly 0 actual crafting. Margins are just too tight for me to be interested in it. And to have to basically AFK craft and then cancel scan for single digit margins after auction house cut just isn't appealing. Especially when the alternative was make 100,000 gold an hour farming the undermine. It's crafting hasn't been very compelling in season 2 for me at all. What do you think we should prep for thaumaturgy before season 3? For thaumaturgy, well, I mean, whatever's the go-to thing right now. I can't imagine it's going to change, right? Surely it's leather still. Surely it's the leather you're mostly running through the alchemy mill. But the time to have bought materials en masse has probably already happened, honestly. We're actually now starting to see the prices of everything slightly rise. So buying in a big amount now, probably you're already paying a premium. I've already seen a video talking about the potential Mechanica mount flip with season 3 coming and people leaving the Undermine. Yeah, there's 2 perspectives on that. 2 very opposite perspectives. Both the value of the mounts and the pets could rise by nature of the fact that there'll be way less people in the Undermine. Everybody theoretically moves into the new zone and the new content and doing the new stuff, which will take people out of the Undermine, meaning there'll be, in theory, far less people farming the pets and the mounts. Simultaneously, because it won't be the current content, the current zone. There will also be far less people than the already very small amount of people willing to buy them off the auction house anyway. Meaning, supply goes down, but so probably will demand. So speculation on price is just one of those kind of like, we'll see what happens. Now, the lower supply of new pets and new mounts into the market does mean that the auction list price will probably go up, but it might take you substantially longer to then actually make a sale. If they don't fix the Dark Fuse farm, they haven't hit a floor yet. Well, the Dark Fuse farm, if you're referring to... I know there's been a couple of world quests that have been a bit crazy times in my absence, but the Blackwater Marina 2x4 farm, I don't think that's going anywhere. Because that, by my calculation, that's what Blizzard wanted to be the Dark Fuse rep farm. That's where they kind of suspect players will go to blast out market research. 2x4 group it. This whole area is like custom designed for a 2x4 farm. They put the items in the game to amp the rewards you get when you stack things on top of it. Like the whole thing, right? World Quest 1, the second one, it has flooded the volume. I did notice looking at my custom source for Mechanica, it's now down to 37,000 on the average sale, which tells me that most of the mounts are below $1 million and most of the pets are below 200k, I would guess, but I haven't looked. But yeah, I would also say that we probably haven't hit the floor price of them yet. And it'll be a real long tail thing to decide where they go after that. No, I mean, these are still... Region sale rate is 0.037 on a 1 million gold mount is still mental sauce. Right? That sale rate is still absolutely bananas on something that expensive. I also have strong suspicion that people won't really be leaving the Undermine. People who have got an operation set up to farm these, they're not going anywhere because there's nothing coming in Season 3 that's going to incentivize them to leave. I know categorically that my little setup for this can still make 100k gold an hour, and I can do it for a few hours a day before I start to run into diminishing returns. Meaning, yeah, cool, we'll get a new zone, we get a new season, I'll go play it, I'll go do stuff over there, but the reality is I might run out the expansion still in the Undermine. Regional sale average is like 190k, 200k on the cheaper of the pets. Yeah, it's all being priced according to how many Mechanica goes into getting each one, and they're still selling, so there's no real reason for anybody to stop doing what they're doing. What's Woo's print here? Let's have a little looky. Woo always has good notes. Oh, okay, so we're now seeing substantially more realms being covered. Average number of pets across the whole route. So yeah, quantity is going up. The overall quantity of mechanica that goes into producing all of the pets is obviously also at a high point. Combination of a few world quests going boom, a few people focusing on getting the reps finished before the end of the season, has clearly spiked the shit out of the supply. So yeah, this value per mechanica has not hit the bottom yet, I don't think, not for sure. Be interesting to see if it dips in a week or so, we'll see. What's likely to happen is that this supply will be quite sticky, because just purely thinking about how many people actually are willing to spend 1 million gold on a mount or 250k, 300k on a pet, right? The amount of people that are willing to spend this money is not, it's a small number to begin with. The supply that currently exists might be quite sticky, and because it's sticky, it will, price competition might push the value per mechanica down a little bit. Whilst the total mechanica might not budge all that much in the short term. But what will always happen is that people will slowly sell these, and the likelihood is they might not be going back to farm more of them. So we might be near to what you'd consider the peak of the supply, but it will take a while for that supply to sell through to have really an effect on the price, I think. Other than pushing the price down as people compete against trying to actually get theirs sold. It'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll have to see. Not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to show your YouTube view account on Twitch anymore. No, you're not allowed to have the chat. You're not allowed to have a combined chat on the screen. View account's fine. Yeah, combined chat is a bit of a no-no. Weirdly. Stupidly. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you can't really have a combined chat on the screen, although people still do. The reality is that only if you put a Twitch icon and a YouTube icon in your if you have a Twitch icon and a YouTube icon in your combined chat, then it's clear and obvious that it's a combined chat. But if you don't show that this is a message from Twitch and this is a message from YouTube, good luck proving it. Like, honestly, it's a bit, the whole thing's a bit silly. This is just Twitch being twitched. I won't worry about it. I have a feeling my sales are slowed down on them, but with such low supply numbers, it could just be me. Yeah, I've not sold any of these for ages, but like I said, I've not really been playing for a while. Many people probably wanted to hand in the World Quest stuff or waiting until the Dark Moon Fair hits this weekend. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not really... Because you got to remember, the people who are trying to zerg their rep before the season ends probably aren't going to blast past into the territory of Paragon chests, right? There's obviously a collection of players that will want the... they'll want the Paragon mounts, Dark Fuse Trove. They'll want the mounts that pop out of these. So there might be some people that do push them, but the Dark Fuse one, once you've got, there'll be a lot of people that once they've got the mount, they'll just stop, right? I don't know. Right, is there much of anything else I really need or want to do? I need to clear through this quest log, to be honest. Puzzling cartel chips are abandoned. Cracked keystone. Abandon. Oh, we can hand in the delve quest. Eyes of the Weaver. Abandon. Either do the quest or get rid of it. Flip it out. What else we got in here? Ashkahet quests. What even is this? Don't know. Do it. It might take us on a squirrel. What even is this quest? Demand satisfaction. General quests, apparently. Try and get the quest log nice and clean, ready for the new patch. Hyped for new season. I've had a little look through it. I've played for a couple of days on the PTR. I'm not convinced I will like push gear as much as I did in season 2. I don't know how the best way to phrase this is, but the reason I'm hyped for the next season is not so much for the new season, but for what will come with the new season. Basically meaning that it pushes us in the right direction towards getting housing news. It gives us potential alpha and beta information. Obviously, in a couple of weeks' time, we get the official announcement for Midnight. The actual from the actual gameplay perspective, though, I'm kind of like the zone is the zone. I think is an average zone. I don't think it's going to keep people interested for all that long, honestly. Although I did say that with the Undermine, but of course the Undermine ended up being an absolute treasure chest of gold making. So I'm not convinced I will push my gear via delves and stuff as much as I did in season 2. But we'll see. We will see. Where's my Zygor gone? So I think it'll be I think it'll be fun for a couple of weeks, but I don't think the season 3 is going to have much legs for me, honestly. I'm far more interested about moving towards Midnight and getting player housing and that sort of stuff. That's really and a Legion remix. I'm significantly more hyped for Legion remix than probably anything else. Housing, it's just a way to make gold, isn't it? Housing is going to be one of those. It'll just be a cash cow for gold making for a little while. We'll make a cool little house. It'll be fun to collect a few things. But Legion Remix is probably the next big thing I'm hyped for. Legion Remix and an alpha for Midnight will be fun. I've never done this quest line before. And we are how far into the expansion? This was season 1 stuff. Whoops. New expansion in housing's the real hype. Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll probably be keeping it relatively chill until we get like Midnight and housing stuff. We'll play the new patch. We'll tinker for a few weeks, but we'll keep it relatively chill until we start getting info on like actually new stuff. Dying for more. Yeah, Legion Remix. There's almost more questions than answers with Legion Remix still. The Mythic Plus, their desire to do some sort of Mythic Plus remix is an interesting one. That they're gonna let people have their remix gear and remix power spike, whilst simultaneously allowing you to also do Mythic Plus Legion dungeons is could be a wild one, honestly. Complete the quest. Oh, that's literally all I needed to do for an achievement, even. We take those. Yo, loads of cash. 2.5, that flipping hell. Right, what's next in the log? This is just my bonus overcharge chest. Is there a reason to do this other than to get that? No, abandon it. Flipping Hallow Fall bullshit. Do I need rep for these? I'm in Paragon mode with Flames Radiance. That means I can probably get rid of all of these, right? Surely. Is there anything in the Paragon chests for these? No. Do I want the bags? No. Abandon. Same with you. Same with you. Same with you. For all intensive purposes, we've completed that. Minus a bit of ATT. Defeat the underpin in the Ringing Deeps. People keep wanting me to do this, and I kind of probably should. I'll leave that in there. You lot can sod off. Although I should maybe do my... I'm still only friendly with the Blackwater Cartel. Flipping hell, I need to go do these, don't I? Speaking of getting the final factions finished... Hope I won't be incentivized to make another 20 alts. I don't have room for them. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I thought from the word go, when that silly kind of like trial account shenanigans in Mop Remix became a thing, I was convinced they were going to nerf it. I was convinced that they were going to step in and just like squish it dead. They were like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not what we planned. This is not what we had intended. But for whatever reason, they left it alone. And this let players make just an ungodly amount of high-level characters. What was at the time max-level characters. Obviously, it was minutes away from them being 70s, not 80s. But it still meant that players had high quantities of max level characters. I'm not so sure they're going to be as lenient this time round. I don't think there will be, or they will at least try and not let something like that slip through the net. So I really don't think it was intended for trial accounts to be boosting max level characters in like 20 minutes. Like, it's considering I always use the phrase with Blizzard, follow the money, it didn't make sense. But I hope they take some of the feedback on board as well, that leveling in Remix was too slow. Mop Remix, that was. It was too slow. I did the maths on it based upon the bronze, and it was like basically somewhere in the region of 60 hours of gameplay to get a full set of gear, which in a 3-month game mode that's meant to be a fun zug fest was too much. It took too long. That's like vanilla. When you think about it, 60 hours to level your character was what it took you to level 60 back in vanilla, which people considered like the slog of all slogs, the grind of all grinds. It shouldn't have taken that long. So I hope for Legion Remix they let you get a max level character and a max geared character in like 20 hours would feel more acceptable. It shouldn't be a full-time job to max your dude out in a remix mode, I don't think. Didn't even do the trial account shenanigans. Just farming dungeons on new alts was extremely efficient. Oh, it was. Yeah. I mean, I got a single account, no shenanigans, max level character down to like a little over an hour. It was kind of wild. Barely bothered with the undermine at all. All the reps are honoured. I'm like, man, I don't really care. I'll sort it out someday. It's just it's the flipping Paragon mounts. It's the Paragon mounts, man. You know that's the one thing that will be a constant like itch at the back of your mind. So finishing out the patch with having them all exalted is smart, I think. Doesn't mean you have to do the Paragon boxes, because that will arguably be something that once you massively overgear the zone, you turn up for 10 minutes and you do some side quests and you one-shot everything and it's GG well played. And every other week you get a Paragon chest and you just slowly wait, but I probably wouldn't suggest grinding the Paragon chests for next week. Well, you can't, because you can only pick one faction a week, but oh, that's a point. I won't have actually even picked a faction, will I? Oh, garbage dude, 2 for 2. Even little things like what they're going to do with the legendaries and artifact weapons in Legion Remix. They have to do something with them, right? Because that was like artifact weapons. That was Legion. Like they have to do something in Remix with that sort of stuff. But I don't know what they're going to do, because even one of people's biggest issues with Legion was that you had to pick one spec and like GG. So I don't know. I am intrigued by. I'm very intrigued by Legion Remix. Like I said, I'm probably more excited for that than I am Housing Season 3. Even Midnight Launch to a degree, to be honest. A Midnight Alpha will be fun, but I'm still probably more interested in Legion Remix. If I was to pick something that I'm the most excited for. No interest in player housing at all. I'm definitely not as hyped for player housing as some other people are. I very much am. I'll take it or leave it with player housing. The only thing I'm really passionate about when it comes to player housing is that Blizzard cannot fuck it up. It's one of those things that's actually very important they don't fuck up. Who's placing down pylons on these things? Wow, 3 for 3. Does this thing just spawn every time now? 3 trash piles, 3 Galagios. Yeah, Blizzard can't afford to fuck up housing. That's the only thing that's making me kind of quite interested for it. It's such a big deal that they can't afford to fuck it up. Tie the artifact into what they did with the cloak in Pandaria, give it shared progression, lock Fox magic to it as well. That's what I suspect will happen. Was it Legion? Was it a cloak we ended up with, or was it a ring? No, ring was yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, they'll give us something that we level up and put all the threads in and whatever. Yeah, they're not going to I don't think they're going to change the concept too much, but they're just going to, legionify it. Hello? In with the cartels? Reach honored with everybody. Oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. Got myself a chicken. What are we doing? Oh, flipping, shipping and handling. It's worth waiting 6 minutes, actually. Is it not worth waiting 6 minutes to do this till the mini event thing's on for it? That will get me surge pricing as well. Just go waste time, kill the world boss. Are we pulling? Apparently so. What are we up to today? Just kind of finishing and clearing through stuff, really. I'm trying to clean my quest log more than anything else. Second to that, just kind of making sure that we've tied up loose ends of Season 2, really. Spent a couple of days looking at the PTR. Feel pretty confident I know what's going on in Season 3. Kind of know what might interest me and what might not. Oh, fudge McDuck. I don't think from a goblin perspective there's anything like new or revolutionary turning up. Certainly not anything that's going to trump the Mechanica farm, unfortunately, but there's some fun to be had for a couple of weeks, I'm sure. Getting some phase diving done, doing some eco-dome business. One thing I haven't done, actually, is run another character through the eco-dome quests, just to see if they get a pet out the box again. The rumor mill is circulating that the pet that comes from that box might be kind of like the warbound item from the world boss, that you're basically guaranteed one on your first kill, but subsequent boxes are not guaranteed pets. 1 mil TLDR. Check the pin comment. There's my notes for 11.2. Have a read through that. It's not a 1 minute TLDR, but you can read it at your leisure. Saves me repeating myself every 20 minutes. Oh, ouch, this is going to hurt. Don't land on another bomb. In terms of like, it's not notes in terms of like game modes and stuff like that, but it's just none of that's difficult to get to grips with. Right, shipping and handling must be on in like 2 minutes. Can I start the first quest? Any tips for catching up on the Undermine reps from Fresh within the last few days with the buff? I don't think there really is a catch up. Your only viable way to catch up is if you are lucky enough to already have a bunch of check cards. Now, check cards you only get once you've completed your checklist for the week. So if you haven't been doing checklists, which I'm going to assume you haven't, you might also not have many of these, but doing checklists and doing checklists on your alts is the only way to catch up quickly. Semi-quickly. Why did I not get any credit for killing anybody then? Hello? It's because I'm still in the flipping raid group. Donkey. Yeah, depending on how many level 80s you've got, how many characters you've got in the Undermine, just rotate through them and complete the checklist. Then hand the checklist in, not to the hotel, because you don't get any rep for that. Hand the hotel, hand it in to whichever faction you're trying to level. Hand it into their quartermaster. Each checklist is worth 500 rep, which is probably doubled right now. Am I right in saying it's probably doubled right now? I don't know. Minimum 500 rep. Could be up to 1,000. Wait till Sunday when Dark Moon is up. If you've got a lot to do, then don't wait. But otherwise, you'll get 10% more if you do wait. Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. This is a world quest. This isn't what I'm meant to be doing. Got to get the rogue monster. Stock up on them, but don't turn them in till then. Yeah, that's true. You can do the legwork and just like log off the dude standing at the quartermaster, and then maybe log in on Sunday. Oh, you'll have to go to the Dark Moon Fair and then come back on each character, which will be slightly annoying, but you can do the legwork of actually completing the checklist, though. What are we doing? Arrive at the heaps. Trash or treasure? Treasure. Treasure. Oh, triple treasures. Crash. Treasure. Alright, 7 more. We'll have to wrap up 11.2. BF6 releases October 10th. Oh, by October 10th, you'll be plenty bored. I can guarantee you, you'll be plenty bored of Season 3 by October 10th, don't you worry. But yeah, on that note, BF6 looks good, doesn't it? I think I'm going to be, we might adventure into BF6 a little bit. I didn't watch the release thing yesterday, but I've seen snippets of info. And yeah, BF6 is looking quite nice. If, and only if, they don't release it too early. Because it wasn't meant to come out this year, and now it is coming out this year. So I'm kind of like a little bit, have they done that? Because have they pushed it forward so that they don't clash with GTA 6? I wonder how many companies out there are trying desperately not to clash with GTA 6. And now that they've been delayed, like everybody was planning on, oh, we'll bring our shit out like early next year. GTA 6 hype will have died down by then. And then GTA 6 goes and delays itself, and now everybody's like, panic! Must launch! Panic! I wonder if there's a bit of that going on in the gaming industry. I'm not sure. They'll all come out and say that, no, we believe our audience is strong enough. We don't worry about it. They fucking do. What are we doing here? Why can't I... Where are we going with this thing? Why don't I have an arrow? What am I doing? Flip. Recruiters defeated. Shit, where was that? Was that about this way? I need to pay attention to what's going on here. Uh, 4th of August, open beta on the multiplayer. Oh, is it really? Okay. Well, that could be interesting to have a go with. That's like in Monday, isn't it? Is that Monday? Oh shit, that's like scarily close to 11.2. They fail again, I think it's over for Battlefield. Well, they got to get this is the thing, they got to get the launch right. They have a really good, they seem to do really well with like clawing back the game to a really good, solid, playable state. But they just got to get the launch right. This is why I worry that they haven't, that they haven't brought the launch forward in order to not clash with those who shall not be named, you know? But things like BF1 are still like crazy fun. Even God knows how old that game is now. 10 years old? Crazy fun. Usually once a year I'll install Battlefield and have a play for a week or so. Oh no, wait, hang on. I meant to be defeating slimes here. I keep mixing up the world quests with me shipping and handling stuff. Urge to Surge is complete though, at least. Is there a pre-download on the client though for that? Because BF6 is going to be a monster. Even with fast internet, I'd want to get that done ahead of time. Don't fancy 128 gig flipping download on day of. However big it will be. $50 gig. Game's going to be 80. That's fine. Need more slimes. Oh, still only 50% of the slime we need. What is this flipping handling, shipping and handling quest? That is a question though. How much is the game actually going to? $100. Fucking hell. That's going to be expensive for a few days of play. Where's the... Oh, hang on. Let me finish these quickly. I've got a couple more quests to do. 4 more quests to do, and then we'll have a look. My game seems to be lagging like a beast right now. I'm not sure why. We got some latency issue going on. Not dropping frames or nothing. No. 26 ms latency. We should be absolutely good. Don't know what's going on. Yo, we might get the epic chest. Holy. It's clearly a streak of people doing the same. Let's get this. Let's get these last things done for the season. Bit of a flurry in this last week or two by the looks of things. Let's go pose. What do we do? Pick up a fruit or something? Yo, big tips. Lovely. Right, 2 more. Loved pet Daisy's got stuck. Oh, this is the balance one. I hate this one. I fall off every time. Around here somewhere, isn't it? My little goblin legs aren't good at this. No, I gotta pick up the quest first. Oh, pick up the quest. Then go rescue Daisy. Sure. Stupid snail. You wouldn't get this love in France, Daisy, I'm telling you. You'd be in garlic butter before you knew what was going on. There we go. Okay, it's put my job streak back down to like 0. Love that. Okay, well, I'll do 1 more. Or is this my mandatory take a rest thing? Yeah, okay. Right, turn in urge to surge, turn in many jobs. That's the quick blast of easy rep, isn't it? Maybe the 4 side gigs might be worth doing quickly. Boom. Beautiful. Undermass chests from stuff. Down chest. Never anything interesting in that. Okay. How's that looking? Nearly revered. How many checklists will I need to do between now and reset to get this to exalted? If it's 1,000, is it 1,000 rep? War within reputations increased by 100%. So it's 1,000 rep per checklist, isn't it? It's 21,000 from revered to exalted. So I'd need to do 21 checklists on top of getting this to revered. Do I want to do that casually over the weekend, maybe? Is that my over the weekend chill, just bang it out task? Because then that will get the rep just done, won't it? That's probably the play. What we got going on here? Battlefield 6 open beta August 9th to the 10th. And then 14th to the 17th. What was Jack saying? August 4th. Where'd you get August 4th from, Jack? Or is that a not an open one? Is that a closed beta one? Maybe. Yeah, I'll go do the side gigs as well in a minute. Okay. It being August 9th to the 10th is a little bit difficult. In fact, both of these weekends. Okay, maybe 14th to 17th. We might give it a go. PC requirements are not that bad. What's it saying? Minimum 16 gig of RAM, 2060. Is this a ray tracing minimum? 2060 minimum. I mean, a 2060 is a very... The recommended is only a 3060 Ti. That seems quite low for a recommended. I was expecting at least 3070, if not 3080 for recommended, considering the 30 series is 2 generations old at this point. I wonder if I'll be able to run it in 4K nicely, though. That's my only question. I need to get at least 60 FPS in 4K. I should be able to. Yeah, well, that comes later in the year, October 10th. Well, I say later in the year. It's actually not that far away at this point, is it? But specs are surprising, to be fair. Well, then it's not releasing on last gen consoles, is it? It's current gen consoles and PC, which hopefully means that they haven't had to like dumb it down for the old consoles, and so have maybe been able to make it look graphically better but optimize it more for like today's hardware, which would be a good thing. That means it will run better on PC, I think. We can hope. 60 FPS on Battlefield game is too low. 90. Well, that's my point. This is why I need 60 minimum. Like, if I can't run it at least 60, it needs to be more. I wonder if it'll support DLSS. It probably will, won't it? Might really help with frame rates. .1080p 240 hertz Battlefield would look beautiful though. Woo! I mean, 4K 240 hertz would look nicer, but that's not going to happen. Not without a 5090. That'll have to wait till we do win the lottery. And for that to happen, I need to start playing the lottery. With an FPS, first-person shooter, I need FPS. I'm just not very good at FPS games particularly anymore. Certainly not good enough that I can blame frame rate for my failings. I mean, you can always try, but I think people would see through that pretty quick. I would more likely not even notice the guy shooting me in the face. Like never mind having 2 frames of latency be a problem. Doesn't mean I don't want it to look nice though. Once you have high refresh rate gaming, it's so hard to go back and not have it. That's kind of why I wouldn't really recommend people play in 4K, even if you kind of care. If you're thinking about like upgrading your PC or your monitor or something to support 4K, I probably wouldn't. I still, for the most part today, would go, for most games, FPS over pixels. Extra pixels are nice. As soon as you have those extra pixels, you feel obligated to use them. And that means you are almost always sacrificing FPS to have those extra pixels. I love my 4K monitor, but in hindsight, it was definitely not even remotely necessary. Fancy game or racing game, 4K can be really good. Yeah, I suppose something like interestingly, something like Satisfactory is a game where 4K is like, oh, okay. Now you can like, you can take it in, right? You can take in the fidelity a lot more. Or even a standard RPG, you know, something that can look good. Doesn't need to run fast. Weaver cloths up 20%. I think we're at the point now where most prices will like take a 20% bump in the next few days. Purely by proxy of everybody. Doesn't matter how much like the Goblin community promotes that buying the week before is already too late. It doesn't matter because there's so many people playing the game that don't pay any attention to what's going on out there, that still think that they're ahead of the game by buying the week before. But you also, those players are also mixed in with all of the population that are just buying some materials so that they can like craft some stuff, and you know you've got casuals mixed in with like proper seasonal preppers and all sorts of stuff going on right now. This is why I think the week running up to a new season and the week shortly after a new season are just the Wild West. So hard to predict with any accuracy what's going to happen because it could go both ways. The only thing that's pretty safe to say is that once the season launches, prices spike. But that's usually for two reasons. One, because goblins want them to spike, and two, because the demand is very high. Literally overnight. Sell cloth now or wait? Well, if you're happy with the price, my advice in that regard is if you're happy with the price now, sell it. If you're happy with the price you can get for it, sell it. Alternatively, sell half of it now and then sell half of it then. Win-win. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Nobody has a crystal ball. But if you're in doubt, just 50-50 it. Kind of can't lose then. Where's this last flipping pillar? It's up here, isn't it, by the big dude? I walked straight past it, that's the problem. I've not done any investing for Season 3, though, this time. With taking a break from the game, I was skeptical to buy in too much. Mostly because I didn't really know if when I took a break exactly when I'd come back and in exactly what capacity. Whenever you take a break from the game, it's safe not to. It's safe to tie up loose ends before you do it. So I chose not to do really any investing for Season 3. We'll personally, we'll tinker in the new zone. We'll have a play in the new zone. We'll collect a few things in the new zone. We'll do some delves. We'll keep the guild, not the guild vault. We'll keep the vault ticking over. But for the most part, we might still spend a lot of time in the undermine if we're actually proactively trying to make more gold. Unless something jumps out the closet that we've all completely missed. But I can't imagine there's something that important that we'd have all missed. Right, that's the side gigs done. That leaves me to believe that minus checklists, I'm about done with the easy sources of rep now. So I need, give or take, 25. A little under 25, 23, I think, checklists to get Blackwater Cartel to Exalted this week. So that's 4 or 5 a day, really, isn't it? I want to split it up. That's achievable. Wowcation is come in, scoop up a few weeks in season 3, and then wait out till midnight. Yeah, as a content creator, my schedule is almost the exact opposite to many people in that regard, right? Because a lot of people will do exactly that. A lot of people will play a little bit of season 3, and then they'll be able to say, right, I'm done with this expansion. Like, I'll just wait until the new expansion comes out now. And they go off and they do other things. Whereas my position is slightly different. Soon as I do the same, I play season 3 for a little bit. But then my brain just switches and we go into like, what's the next expansion? Alpha turns up, beta turns up. All of the news starts coming out about the new stuff. The hype starts building. Obviously, now that's stacked on top with both player housing and a Legion remix. It was bad enough in Dragonflight season, the end of Dragonflight. It was bad enough that we had MOP remix to contest with. Now we've got Legion remix and player housing. So all of that run up to the new expansion is going to be really quite busy. On top of the fact that I'm crossing every single one of my limbs that Midnight launch doesn't clash with GTA 6. If Blizzard make the decision to launch the expansion, like the new expansion, even remotely close to when GTA 6 launches, there is going to have to be some tough decisions made. We suspect that Midnight might come out like February, which is early enough for us to play Midnight for all it's worth, and then go do GTA 6 before season 2 of Midnight. But season 1 of an expansion is the best season, and so you kind of want to play all of it, but we'll see. They might do Midnight in January, to be honest. I don't know. The thing is, if they want to do it in January, they got to get cracking, right? If they want to launch the expansion in January, they got to get flipping going, right? They got to start putting the foot down now. MOP Remix was 3 months. There's a good chance that Legion Remix will be the same duration. Player housing is probably going to be separated from pre-patch. So player housing is going to come before that. So they've got to squeeze player housing in at some point. I can't see them dropping player housing at the same time as like people are still ramping and hyped about Legion Remix. They will probably want to drop player housing a month or so after Remix has started, so that people can do Remix and then dip back, and then they can filter all that traffic right back into retail. But they've got to get an alpha out there first, assuming they do an alpha and a beta cycle this time. There's a strong chance they just sack off the alpha, by the way. I don't know if they will do this. I have no insider info to say yay or nay, but there's a strong chance they sack off the alpha as a public alpha. The only reason they really do a public alpha is to get a lot of hype. And the reason they might do a public alpha this time is to drive housing and remix. But we'll see. Right, boys and girls, though, I'm going to leave it there. I can't stream quite as much as I want to today. My niece is with us for a few days. She's only 3, so she takes a constant pair of eyeballs. So I'm going to go assist, be real human for a while. It's also Friday, so I probably won't see you until Monday. Something will happen on Monday. Might not be streaming on Monday. I might use Monday as a day to do a couple of videos, get the YouTube up and running a little bit. If not, just to solidify what we know going into 11.2. But if that's the case, it'll be Tuesday. The 11.2 waiting room on Tuesday. And then we go on Wednesday, I suppose. That's the plan. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the love today. Appreciate that. Flipping hell, there's like nearly 20 there's way more people on Team YouTube today than I expected. I appreciate you sticking about. Thank you. Thank you for the bits, the follows, the subs. If you've watched an ad, I appreciate you as well. Very much appreciate. Thank you. Thank yous. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.